What is going on, guys? Thought I'd save this video for a nice day, which is a rarity in April in England, but nice day today. So moved to a small village called Howden, around 4,000 people. I'm going to show you guys around it and yeah, show you what it has to offer. So currently walking around the side of the Howden Minster, which is funny because the city I came from before, the city I grew up in, the city I was born in, York, has a minster. The minster's just over there, but I'll get a better view for you soon. So when we first came to visit Howden, which I knew was about half an hour away from York, which I knew nothing about, we parked just over there. So there's a park here, and there's a little kind of big field as well. Howden Football Club play. But it's called the Howden Mile, so it's exactly a mile around this little walkway here. Bring dogs here occasionally when it's nice weather, throw the ball around that field. And yeah, this is kind of where we parked, and kind of after we saw the house that we're in now, and then kind of came here and was like, this is it, this is a really nice, beautiful place, and enjoyed it ever since. So I mentioned about the Howden Minster. Just there. I'll get a better view of it in a second. But Howden's got like such a nice little rich history as well. I think it goes way back to the 1600s. And kind of, again, I can imagine this is our first, we got here in December. I'm looking forward to the summer because I imagine beautiful place to chill out in. Kind of sit here, have a picnic, bring some food, bring some drinks, bring the dogs, and kind of just look at the history and the minster behind us. So right now we're coming back towards the minster. I'll show you the minster, then kind of the main high street with all the shops and whatnot here. So that's kind of the main street. We've kind of got the butchers, got another butcher around there too, got a few pubs, greengrocers, got a like a household store with furniture and stuff. Furniture store, I don't know why I forgot about that. And then one of my favourite areas, because it reminds me of York, is just down this street here. So like the little cobbled floor reminds me of York a lot. And we've got Florena's. Nice little Italian restaurant, which has a pretty good pizza, to be fair. Jamil Spice, which closed down unfortunately before I got here, but supposedly everyone said it was great. I'm not sure if it's going to open again. Another interior place. And again, you can see the minster just looming over. You can get to the minster that way as well. And then you got a few pubs and dentist around here. And what I've read up on Howden, kind of in the last few months while I've been here, is that there used to be quite a bit more stores and a mainstream bank here, and there was quite a bit of worry a few years back that because the bank left, a few of the pubs have closed. A lot of the like defunct buildings around here, like here with the scaffolding and stuff, are actually pubs that have closed down. But it's actually had a bit of a boom with the new housing that we moved into. And some of the older pubs, again, place over there, big old building, just a deserted pub, and there's a few around there as well. We've already got 2 pubs here, right? Actually 4 pubs, I think. But before, it seems like it was just pub. But now, from what I'm hearing, those pubs that have been deserted and kind of just standing there are going to become shopping centres, or kind of shops and more kind of high street stuff that's going to bring more income to the area and more people as well. Obviously still trying to keep the town small and not have it overrun. That's kind of what's happened to York. It's become tourist central and like really just, it's still, York's still a small city of 300,000 and Howden's tiny, 4,000. But yeah, it's hopefully with the improvements and the growth, it doesn't take away that kind of small town vibe. And again, one of my favorite things when we first got here and driving up, kind of the Minster there, just the arches kind of looming over the city. It's really beautiful. Local Chinese there. Yeah, really beautiful building. And another cool thing I'd say about living in a smaller town, we've gone from living in Toronto, if you follow this channel, living in Toronto, like 4 million people, to coming back to my home city of York, which is like 300,000, and now in Howden, 4,000. There is, I will say, there is some downsides. There's not a lot here, and sometimes you can get like a little bit of village fever, or kind of feel that you're in a I don't know, everything closes at 6 o'clock or whatever, and you can kind of feel a bit isolated, especially my family. They're only a half an hour drive away, so it's not massive, but sometimes you can feel that way coming from bigger cities. But the community here, the smaller community, I go to the butchers every morning, they all know us, that they have treats for the dogs. I've just bought something from Jazz from our local kind of handy store. They all know us by name, and some people told us that when we moved here, like people, they'll get to know your name, they'll get to know who you are, and it's such a tight-knit community, and everyone's really happy. And if I drunk alcohol, I'm sure I'd get to know more people in the pub, but I don't. But again, it's just the people we meet, the butchers, the greengrocers, the little homeware stores, little trinket kind of stores. It's such a close and nice and positive community, rather than the biggest cities that I've lived in, where people don't want to speak to anyone and kind of just almost see people as a nuisance. The bigger you get and the more people around, you start to take people for granted. Around here, you kind of hoping to bump into someone, have a nice little conversation. And that's basically the town. There's a few other places like the Fish and Chip Street, like just kind of 2-minute walk from where I was, where we get our chippy. But one of my favorite places, one of my kind of, and it's a place I didn't even know about when we moved here. And I was kind of always thinking, where are we going to go and walk the dogs? When we lived in York, we'd drive down to the race course about 10 minutes away from our house every day. But literally a 5-minute walk from our house, we're in the Howden Marsh. About a 2.5 kilometre walk. This is kind of one of our easy walks, and we don't want to do a more chilled out, stay kind of in the area, just walk here in the morning, first thing. At the Howden Marsh, just walk around. There's ducks, there's a pond, the dogs love it. And yeah, it's one of my favourite areas in Howden. I didn't even know about when I moved here. I just saw a bunch of forest and I thought, oh, that's kind of, you can't go in there. It didn't look accessible, but nice little pond down there. It's just a great way to come away and just be in nature and be with the dogs. And yeah, so that's Howden. Hope you guys, hope I showed it, and hope you kind of got a little grasp of our new small little village we're in. It's surprisingly, I'm a massive fan of it. Again, I was skeptical because I'm used to having the big city things on our doorstep, but those things that the older I get, the more mature I get, I don't need in my life at all. What I need is just a place where I can call home, and this has definitely taken that space, and I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy here right now, and so is Jazz, and so are the dogs. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see anything else about Howden or about our move, let me know, and see you in the next one.